I mean, you should make yourself redundant if you have to be successful. It's my principle. Right? I told manage I'm redundant, right? The people will, my leaders are able to deliver. So I am redundant. So I don't think I should continue. I should be moving out. So he obviously he acknowledged my aspiration, and he said, "Yeah, I will say a new role." I think it will be very funny how this new role came. Right? It was on a Christmas day because I've been talking to managers saying that I had to do something.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast series by Directors Institute World Council for Directors. I'm your host, Tanay All, and every episode we sit down with leaders who have navigated complex challenges, achieved exceptional milestones, and continue to inspire with their vision and expertise. Today, we have the pleasure of hosting an extraordinary leader who needs no introduction in the financial and technology space, Mr. K.S. Murali. With over 30 years of experience, including a decade leading the financial vertical at HCL, Mr. Murali has overseen portfolios worth over $300 million, dollars, led global teams of over 5,000 professionals, and successfully driven strategic growth, innovation, and operational excellence. In this episode, we'll explore his incredible journey, the strategies behind his success, and his insights into how strong leadership and governance can transform organizations. So, whether you're a budding professional, a seasoned leader, or someone passionate about innovation and growth, this conversation is packed with stories, lessons, and wisdom you don't want to miss. Stay tuned as we deep dive into the mind of a leader who has shaped businesses, built success, and continues to inspire excellence. Let's get started. Firstly, we welcome you on the show, sir.
Okay.
Sir, with over 30 years in the software industry and a decade leading the financial services vertical, you've experienced a journey filled with growth, challenges, and transformation. Leadership, as we know, is often shaped by pivotal moments, those defining experiences that teach us, push us, and help us evolve. I'd love to hear about some of those moments from your career, sir, that not only shaped your leadership style, but also left a lasting impact on the way you approach success today.
Well, thank you. I think it's a very interesting and very pointed question. See, being in industry for 3 decades, 3.5 decades, and you have seen the multiple transformation have what happened in IT, the early 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010. 90s was a traditional the build, the 20s, Y2K, 2010, it's the cloud, the cyber. As of now, people the buzzword is Gen AI. I mean, Gen AI it's a buzzword all over the place, right? I mean, gone through all the phases of IT. I mean, if you look at it, when IT was starting, I started my career in early 90s, right? That's where the software, I'm talking the software, not this one, where so I gone through a more challenges than nice period, right? Because the you have to keep growing, you have to keep learning, you have to face challenges, all those things. But the cornerstone, if you look at technology keep changing, the cornerstone of my leadership and success is people, where I thrive on people to the large extent for the success. I mean, going back and just let me quote one or two the challenges that I faced with, and obviously I can quote challenges which can take days together for me to speak. But one channel mainly I want to talk about it because that led to a greater recognition for me. So I took in about 15 years back, I was assigned a task. Okay, I was running an account which was having a 20 million of revenue. Obviously, I was put into challenge, right? I mean, I'm in it from HCL, right? HCL always a top line organization, always want to grow. They said, okay, I given you 20 million, you have to make it 100 million in 3 to 4 years' time. I said, oh my God, this is a real challenges to make it fivefold in 3 to 4 years' time. So obviously the challenge, but the my attitude and behavior is I'm always a risk-taking person. It's not that I shy away from this. The risk-taking ability is very high with me. I mean, I never fear of failure. That's one characteristic of myself is never fear of failure. I took the challenge. Uh, First and foremost, when you have that kind of challenge, what do you look around? I don't look around the customer. I only looked around the people, right? Who the people that you're going to be part of my team, right? Whether they have the right skills, right attitude. The attitude is what I look at the primary success for my for my entire journey, right? So I picked up 5 to 6 people who had the right attitude, the reasonably good skills, etc. So that's the first step I did. Yes. So that means I have the right people so that they motivated, deliver. Second is to how do you grow? I mean, how do you get the revenue? Is to look at the landscape of the bank, look at uncontested spot, right? That's what we call blue ocean strategy. That, I mean, people are aware of blue ocean strategy. You have to look for uncontested space where you target the space and try to grow in that. So we targeted the uncontested space, right? There are the remaining space are very crowded, right? There are a lot of other. We looked at the blueprint of the bank, looked at where the uncontested space, where that HCL strength can be forward to grow. So we found those aspect of it as one sweet spot. Then we went through it. So these, okay, one is people, one is strategy. More importantly, why should custom give you business? Because we as a vendor, we were trusted and we are transparent. I think the way we operate is, though the principally is, okay, there is always a contract between a customer and a vendor. That's important framework. But normally, what we've been taught is, this contract is there, the framework to protect both parties. But when we want to build a relationship, that means we have to go beyond the contract. We call it relationship beyond the contract. So we build the relationship, build the trust, build the transparency. Okay, that's most foundation of your success. Next is be consistent, right? When you commit, be very consistent what you deliver to the customer and measure the success. You can, the moment you measure that and demonstrate consistently, once the trust is built, obviously you get the, you don't need to be selling. It's once the trust is built, once you're consistent, you get the revenue flowing in. And during the point in time, the bank was going through huge transformation. It was we rightly pitched ourselves. I mean, I was never dreamt that I could make this into a 100 million account in 3 to 4 years time. Uh, 2008, 2012, it became 100 million account. It's the fastest growth account, and I was given a CEO award in the 2012. Uh, in those days, award was not cash. They gave me a Mercedes Benz car. It's pride. Even today, I
Wow.
have. It's a pride car, right? This is pride for me. So the most defining moment, entire of these things is people. Okay, the technology can be there, the process can be there. If you have a motivated people, empowered people, and you have right strategy, I think you can do right thing, right? So it's not me alone. That's a team. So for me, learning is building a successful team, motivating them, and empowering them is the cornerstone of my. This a challenge I'd face. So there are many a challenge I can talk about it, but I thought this is the key because 20 to 100 in a short runway, uh, complex scenario, competition. You name all the top 5 IT companies were there. And so that was a very moment. It was a very turning point if you look at it for me, right? It was which gives me a lot of visibility to the management, gave lots of visibility. So from there, my growth has been quite good. So that's I think I would actually that could be a one challenge which I would thought I should share with you.
Yeah, and very well said, sir, that bigger the challenges, the bigger you need to probably trust your team to help you with it and be on the same page, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Sir, leading a strategic business unit at HCL with a portfolio worth over $300 million is an extraordinary responsibility. One that not only demands sharp strategy but also resilience and vision. Could you share some of the other biggest hurdles you faced when stepping into this role and the mindset or strategies that help you navigate them successfully?
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. So I was handling an A account or a customer, right? Uh, then obviously one, it's a way it happened. This obviously I'm a person who's always want to be aspiring to a newer role. My manager said that you're doing well in this account. I said as of now I'm redundant in this role. I mean, you should make yourself redundant if you have to be successful. It's my principle. Right? I told manager I'm redundant, right? the people will, my leaders are able to deliver. So I am redundant. So I don't think I should continue. I should be moving out. So he obviously he acknowledged my aspiration, and he said, "Yeah, I will say a new role." I think it will be very funny how this new role came. Right? It was on a Christmas day because I've been talking to managers saying that I had to do something more. I can't do the same thing. Though it is successful, is running. I can't just keep counting my beans. I need to do something new. So he obviously thought through saying what is his strength, what is his weakness, what can we do better. So way it happened is on I remember that well is on a Christmas day Eve. I think my manager called me. He gave me 2 minutes. Murali, I identified the role. The role is you have to lead emerging market, that is Asia Pacific Middle East region. Uh, that's it. That's it. He said, I have only 2 minutes for you to decide. So, way HCL operates is, I mean, he just gave me 2 minutes. I said, fine. I said, fine. I said, let's move on. So, after I accepted, is obviously then I start thinking through, okay, I'm getting the new role. I don't know what this role going to be, what the expectation is going to be across. Obviously, yes, you have talked to people, all those things. So, it made, I mean, cutting short all these story is when you take a new role from one customers to multiple customers, diversify region, Singapore to Malaysia to Australia to New Zealand to Dubai, it's completely diversified, right? Culturally, the business, how they conduct the business, extremely different. And this market, especially, is very difficult, especially Singapore or Japan or Vietnam, very difficult market. It's not the easy market that you can navigate through. So I think I went and I mean had a look at the landscape, look at the regions, look at the people, right? I mean, obviously, we have to appreciate HCL. HCL is a very entrepreneurial way that we operate. We are empowered. I mean, if you succeed, it's good. If you even fail, they will help you. That's the way it operates. So first and foremost thing, I should analyze this market. It's very diversified, very demanding. Customer buying patterns are different. So I first of all identify the people who has the local knowledge, local business acumen, who can connect with the customer, like maybe Singapore or Malaysia or Vietnam or a Japan or New Zealand, Australia. You need to have that local. So first of all, identify that set of people because they can go on. As I said, for me, the people fixing the people is the most important aspect in anything that you do. The second aspect is obviously is the when you as a new leader when you emerge into a new role, the expectations are different. They expect it. Okay, I given you the X, you make it 3X, maybe, right? So then I looked at it and I had to take some difficult decisions, right? When you analyze it, I found that there were low profitable business. I said, let me get rid of the low profitable business, get rid of this customers. Well, obviously, a very tough call. People will not appreciate it, but I rather spend my team energy into a growth uh, customer rather than a tail customer where I'm going to spend more money, I'm not going to get the benefit. So I exited the some of the tail customers. It's hard decision. People said, "Oh, you're losing revenue." I said, "Yes, short term, yes, we are losing revenue. Put the energy back into a growth uh, potential account." I think I succeeded there, right? To some extent, I succeeded there. So they obviously management agreed that okay, that there's some decisions are right, some decisions may be wrong. Okay, that is a second part which enable to bring in the sustainability, bring in the culture aspect of it. Because culture aspect of people, you have a diverse team, right? It's not uh, one Americas or one UK. It's diversified, small country. So first major learning for me is cultural understanding, how to conduct business with a different region, and be bold. Some decision may be right, some decision wrong, but keep moving forward. So I think again the challenge was from X to 3X. So I put a roadmap for 3 years. Not all part of the roadmap worked. Some part succeeded, some part failed. But you keep doing the course correction. End of that period, I just able to make it to 3x, right? Again, the core of the more of my success is the people. So why I'm going back to people, let me give, I mean, throughout my discussion, you will hear that more. I'm sure that you heard of a book called Employ First, Customers Again, written by Binit Nair of ex-CEO of HCL, right? That's a very cornerstone for my success, if you ask me. It just came in 2006 or 7. What is very principle, saying if I have an employee, if I motivate him, if I empower him, he's going to take care of my customer. I stay behind and support him. I'm just giving the principle of it. I think that principle enabled, I mean, I adopted to a large extent, and that helped to succeed. So, when you get a new role, the learning was diversified culture from the employee perspective, the customer perspective. There's a big learning out there. So, it is not one strategy can going to fit all. You need to have different strategy for different region.
Yeah.
So I think it went through it, but obviously, yes,
So, managing a team of over 5,000 people across India, Australia, and Singapore is no small feat. It takes more than just strategy, I'm sure. It takes empathy, vision, and the ability to connect with people from diverse cultures and backgrounds, like we were just talking about. So, how do you, as a leader, ensure that your team stays aligned, motivated, and efficient, while also feeling valued and inspired to deliver the best despite the scale and geographical spread?
yeah. I think the fundamental, as I explained, is empowerment, effective communication, and being transparent. Right. The moment you empower employees, they feel motivated and they are allowed to take decisions. I mean, we provide tools and processes for them to make decisions. They succeed, they fail. When they fail, we step in. Second, being transparent. The transparency, you build transparency with your employees. The trust gets built, right? How do you bring the transparency? Is the effective communication, what's happening within your customer, what's happening within the organization, what is doing well, what is not doing not well, and what is the role that you can play to make this happen. So the constant communication, the transparency, which build the trust, and obviously employees will deliver to the what is your goal that you have, whether a company goal or your regional goal, deliver. Then it's connect with the employees, right? The way I operate is, yes, there is hierarchy, right? You need hierarchy in organization to various things, but I'm as an individual, I don't believe in hierarchy. So I do my level one, level two. I go and reach out all levels of people so that they feel what you say, encouraged to reach out to me when this issue is a problem. So that's my operating model, operating style is. Hierarchy is important too. There's various reasons. When you do that, so the people start engaging, right? Right. So that way, being giving trust, the transparency, the empowerment, effective communication constantly, and also we conduct. I travel across all Singapore, Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand every quarter to meet employees, conduct what you call a town hall, reward them, even a small success, right? It could be a very small success. Give a big shout. I think not whatever I did, not necessarily 100% successful, but I think I saw I saw that there's progress. So even today, I mean, even I'm not. It's even today, people do call me, not because I've given them promotions or money, but they will call me saying that the uh, the empowerment or the involvement I showed to them during the career. I think that's what. So I think the most important, I said, trust, transparency, be open with the communication, reward and recognize them. Even a small one, I think you can bring the team together. And since I have a diverse team, uh, I do a pulse, right? Pulse check through my HR to see what's happening. Some people must be very disgruntled. The one disgruntled employee can spoil the whole
Yeah.
team. So we had to find out. So that's what my one of the key cornerstone for my success.
Yeah, very well said. I think if there are so many people and you give shout outs to people for the smallest thing which we often might ignore in life, But that can work as a huge motivating factor for others as well, that it is being appreciated, right? So, transitioning complex projects for a Swiss based investment bank must have been a mix of pressure, precision, and opportunity. When you're managing something of that scale on an international stage, I imagine every detail counts, from aligning teams to meeting client expectations. What was that experience like for you? And were there any moments where you felt the weight of the challenge but found a way to turn it into a breathtaking success?
Yeah, I think it's this was a very very complex deal HCL one, right? It's basically Swiss. I mean, I can't name the bank, but you can make a guess. Uh, Very complex scenario. I mean, way we HCL got this deal is through vendor consolidation. I do not know whether you have it. When you say vendor consolidation, when there are five vendors operating in that uh, landscape, they try to bring into three, and we were part of the three, right? Obviously, the deal cycle went for long in terms of, and I was given the responsibility, saying, "Was you need to make sure that you how do you want to." It's a very complex because the complexity is not about the technical aspect of it. I mean, obviously, you have technical aspect of it. The complexity was again people, right? Because you have people from Americas, you had people from Britain, you had people from Switzerland, I had people from Germany, I had some people from India, Singapore. That means I have diversified people from the client organization where I get the transition. It means I had to get the knowledge, I transition some of them into HCL. It's a global, right? 1,000 people. Right? It's obviously, I mean, when I took over, I was, it took some time for me to really to crack it. It was a very difficult journey. It's not at all an easy journey for me. Every step there was a hurdle because um, if the employees or the customer set if they're not aligned, it would have been a disaster. But we had to go through it every step. We had to go through. We had to do course correction. So once the technical aspect of it's done, we have a framework. We have a set of tools which can be done. It's about people here because people from the customer were very very worried because when the transition happened, there's a loss of job, right? And only some people we observe, some people have to let go. That's not easy, right? It's got emotions, obviously it's got certain other. So when there is a uh, when they know that they're large, it's obviously the transition became very hostile, right? They will refuse to share. So we had to, I had to go to all the regions, I had to conduct town halls after town halls, talking to the customer, talking to the current employers, saying that yes, I understand. So for some people, we do took into HCL critical people. Some people we had to explain this is a process. Okay, as a part of the process, we had to provide them certain compensation benefits, right? Because obviously look at the compensation benefit. And I mean, it's quite difficult to keep them motivated because when they know that that role is going to be redundant, it's extremely difficult to motivate them. But we were transparent and we tried to help some other people saying whether they can be absorbed elsewhere else. So with that way, there was very culturally very diversified people, right? From Americas, how the Americans are, how the British are, Switzerland especially, very tough people, right? Swiss people, very, very tough. Though they are nice to this, very, very tough to handle. So we had technical process for transition. We had the people process for transition. And also it's process there, but important is I had set of good leaders who were again in the region and communicating. I think the transparency comes into the picture. Once you transparent communicate, once you trust building, it the is able to move some those HCL, some to three. But I will honestly say it was challenges. Every phase it was a challenge, and obviously that way customer and we had to work through navigate through challenges to succeed in terms of this transition. Yes, we what we estimated in what we deliver, it took a little longer than what we estimated, right? So it is, and this whatever we did as transition placement people side became a case study, became a learning for HCL, and with that learning, we're able to win very similar deals across, right? So I mean, some point in time I would, because I had to operate uh, at US I had to operate at US time, I had to operate at UK time, I had to operate Singapore time. That means almost 24 by 7. I think some of my team members have to operate at the early stage. So I think that's I would say that's a major learning. Uh,
Yeah. So, with a career defined by leadership, growth, and managing large scale international successes, I'm curious, what do you see as the next chapter for yourself? Are there any aspirations you hold, particularly when it comes to contributing your experience in the boardroom leadership, where your experience could help shape strategy, governance, and long term vision for organizations?
yeah, I think, see, as I said, 35 years of experience, seen the 3 decades of how the software industry's evolution, the up and downs, various phases, different phase of the technology transformation. And I was leading the financial services for Asia Pacific for last 15 years. So I think I have a wealth of experience from managing a customer, building a business, running a governance, able to deliver profitable and sustainable, right? Because I've done all these things in my career, right? That way I can be a good mentor in the boardroom to the people who are, who are emerging, who wants to build the business to the next phase. I can help in define the roadmap. Not all roadmap is successful, but I can definitely help them to define the shape in terms of where they want to be in next 3 years or 5 years, and how sustain, how profitable. So because I have the experience, I mean, basically, I would say I have failed more than succeeded. A lot of failure I see, right? You take some challenges, fail, you learn. So that's one of the key aspect of myself is risk taking, and I've never fear of failure. I can mentor people. I can define the roadmap they want to be. I don't need to be restricted to a vertical finance. I can walk across any vertical because what I bring is a management knowledge, right? In terms of process, in terms of people, in terms of transition. And I worked in various geos. I was in Americas, I was in UK, I was in Switzerland, I was in Singapore, Australia. I mean, 35 years I stayed there, I worked with the people. So I have the global experience of managing customer and setting expectation. Obviously, yes, everywhere you have to keep changing, right? You have to keep innovating yourself, right? Technology is so rapidly changing, right? So that's where you have to keep innovating, you have to keep learning. So these are the key strengths I think that can be utilized in the board.
So, with ESG, environmental, social, and governance, becoming a cornerstone of modern business strategies, leaders today are expected to balance profitability with purpose. From your perspective, how do you see ESG principles transforming organizations, and what role do you believe leaders like yourself play in driving sustainable and responsible growth?
Okay, so I mean, I will not elaborate on ESG because I mean people are aware of ESG principle, the process, the data you have to collect. Obviously, the ESG is a no tick in the box now. It's a
Right.
boardroom discussion. It's a much more while your growth, the profitability is important, but the environment and social governance is plays a critical role these days, right? Any board you need to represent, you need to provide the data today. There's no from that perspective, if you have to be successful, you have to be profitable, you have to adopt all the principles of ESG. Let me draw a little bit parallel to it, right? I think, even to me, Sabbo obviously is the key thing today. About 15 years back, the complaints. I mean, I'm not talking about the financial complaint. I'm talking about the complaint because we operate with the financial services segment where the data privacy is a major concern, right? If you don't manage it properly, with any data leakage, contract can be cancelled. It's such a serious issue. I know personally myself where we had a problem, but we able to quickly turn around that issue with a certain level of process and changes. So this, if there is a breach, I mean, your contract can be cancelled. Your reputation can be damaged completely if you don't follow the principles of these things, right? So, and now today, if you look at all organizations will have chief risk officer as a role, which reports to
Yeah,
CEO,
yeah.
which reports to the board. Similarly, sustainability today have CSOs, chief sustainable officer. It's a well-defined role to bring in the principles of it, not only at the boardroom or CEO level, at every aspect of your, at what various levels, right? because ESG impacts society, ESG impacts your stakeholder relationship, it impacts your profitability. So ESG is no tick in a box. It is definitely it's no choice. Every single organization have to integrate ESG as part of their day-to-day life. It cannot be sitting at the boardroom talking about or CEO talking. It has to percolate at all levels, right?
Well,
How the compliance is percolate at all levels, right? If I do any breach, data breach, I am fired. I heard in stories if some people, not story, it's truth, that if the adoption of the ESG was low in, especially in the manufacturing segment, a CEOs got fired, right? And I mean, I can't name that. So it's case they came. So it is an important. And I'm because I run the complaints. I used to run the complaints and the risk, and I know the principles of ESG, and it's got multiple framework, etc. But I feel that's very extremely critical. I'm definitely I'm also learning of the ESG, and definitely yes, I will contribute to the ESG as a.
so you recently enrolled with Directors Institute. What motivated you to take this step, and how do you see it helping in your leadership journey?
Yeah, it's good question. See, it's running last 35 years as a leader, operations, business development, day to day, right? So I've taken a break. I moved out of the corporate world. The reason is now I want to contribute because I mean I don't want to be running day to day operations. I don't want become very monotonous for me anymore. So I want to. The reason I joined and picked up this director's course is because yes, I have the fundamentals of building a business and growth, but you need to learn a little bit more about if you have to be an independent director about the company, about the law, about the ESG, about the principles. I think this institute will shape up to be that play that role. I also found there's be a lot of interaction happen with the some of the leaders who are directors who has various experience. I think for me, that's a very important. This important tool, this course, will enable me to be part of any organization where I can drive the organization goals, where I can bring in outside your business development operations. I can bring in these governance principles, ESG principles, and also the about the company act, company laws, etc. So that's the
Well,
reason why I enrolled this. I was looking at something which will enhance, which will complement what I have, right? Though I may have technology, I may have a the business development skills, but if I had to give additional shape to it, I need to have the courses which is being conducted with directly simple.
so, with that, we come to the end of this truly enriching conversation on FaceTime with Leaders. It's been an absolute pleasure having you with us today. Your insights on leadership, managing large scale operations, and the role of governance in shaping resilient organizations have been nothing short of inspiring. To our listeners, I hope today's episode has left you with valuable takeaways and a deeper appreciation for the blend of experience, strategy, and vision that drives impactful leadership. Once again, sir, thank you so much for sharing your journey and wisdom with us. It's truly been an honor.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a big honor for me also.
Thank you, sir.